Hey everyone, welcome back to Bit by Knit with me, Jenny. I'm here with you guys today on the west coast of Canada in beautiful British Columbia. And today I've got one finished object to talk about and three, I think, works in progresses, plus a couple acquisitions with the plans for what we're going to do with those acquisitions as well. We're going to start off with what I'm wearing. I am wearing the Pressed Flowers cardigan by Amy Christoffers. I knit this back in summer. Nope, that can't be right. I guess it was last spring, actually, last year. And I used yarn from Bramble Ridge. It was her woolen spun yarn in the color Purple Haze. And I paired it with the flowers are made from a hand spun yarn that Megan at Bramble Ridge spun herself, but it was from yarn, or I guess fiber, from Hello Yarn. I don't know the colorway for that one, but it was a knit intended to be worn for what's it called again? It was a knit intended to be worn at Fibers West last spring, and I finished mine in time for that. I was helping Megan at Bramble Ridge in the booth, and this was the sweater we all wanted to wear in that booth, so that was the purpose for it, and I love it. It's a little bit warm right now. It feels a little bit warm right now wearing it. I don't know why. It's winter time. It's not that cold outside, I guess. We are dealing with a lot of rain here on the west coast. We have yet to get any snow this winter, which is a bit unusual. It's typical to get a little bit of snow by now, but we haven't gotten any. So it's just rain. It's like 6 degrees or something. And I'm feeling a bit warm with this on and a long sleeve shirt underneath. But I wanted to wear a hand knit, and all of my sweaters felt too warm today, so we are just coping with a cardigan instead. Okay, let's start with my first finished object, my only finished object. This is the Mixed Rib Cami by Florence Miller. I've been knitting on this for quite a while. I started it in December 2024, and I just finished it on January the 4th. January 4th? That can't be right. I bet you I meant to write January 24th or 26th or something, because I've definitely recorded since January 4th. It's February the 2nd today. It's not been done that long. I think I meant January the 24th. I wrote it down and I wrote it down incorrectly. Anyways, I finished this last week. I've got some issues with it. I will have put up, or am putting up, some B-roll on it. So let's talk about the pros first. It's a beautiful fabric. It's so drapey. It's so, I don't know, squishy and airy and loose, and I love the way that it flows. It's beautiful that way. My issues are, the first big one actually, is it's way too low in the armhole. I feel like it was like that from the get-go. I don't think it stretched out this deep. I'm pretty sure I knit it to this deep. I probably stretched out a little bit, but not by much. And it's way too deep for me to wear it like this because it shows so much of my bra at the side. And I don't like that look, obviously. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. I don't know. Some people I'm sure don't care. I care. And then if you'll see in the video, I did pull it up a bit to show what the length would look like if I hadn't knit it so deep. And it's not so bad. It's a little bit short for me. It probably would actually work fine if it was that short, because I still had a full coverage of my stomach. But, you know, I couldn't do that with this garment without ripping it all the way back to before I connected at the underarm and re-knitting all that length, pretty much starting from scratch again. Plus, I find it's a bit too tight, and because of that, it's stretching a bit and it's a bit see-through, which I don't like either. So kind of three. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention the third con. That was just two. The third one is I have this much yarn left over. It feels like a lot. I did weigh it. This project, this whole thing weighs, I wrote it down. This whole tank top weighs 132 grams. So what I'm left with is 80 grams. I've got 80 grams left. I just weighed it. 132 grams here. That's pretty significant. This is like, what would it be? Math is not my strong suit. A third still left of the full amount. 132 plus 80. is just over 200, 212? I don't know if I did that right. So I've got a significant amount left. I've got a significant amount of yarn left, and I don't want to do a project without using more of the yarn in mind. I mean, I couldn't knit another garment out of this amount left without it being, like a bralette or something, and I would never wear that. So my plan is, as beautiful as this is looking, I'm going to frog it and make something different with it. Not the same garment. I'm going to do something completely different with it. I don't know what yet. I've been looking around on Ravelry for inspiration. I've got a couple of projects in mind that might work. I don't remember the names of them. If I can recall, I might put it up here, but I haven't found anything that fits the bill exactly, so I'm still waiting for, it's coming into spring. It's coming to spring for the Northern Hemisphere and into summer, and we should be getting some new patterns that might fit the bill for this, more than what I've already seen. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes open, and I'm going to revisit this yarn in the near future. We'll see if it happens this year. I do love working with this yarn. It's beautiful. It feels so soft, and like I said, it's so drapey for the final product. I really do want a garment out of it. It's just not this one. So I hope you guys aren't sick of this yarn, because it is going to be coming back maybe this year for a different project. And this will be, my first disappointed project of the year, my first unsuccessful project of the year. And we are going to be spending this year analyzing my finished objects. As I'm going through the year, I'm going to make sure that what I'm making is something I'm going to like, and if I don't like it, I'm going to be okay with frogging it. I don't want to just keep something for the sake of keeping it because I feel like I put so much effort and work into it, and it's not something that I want to frog based on that. I want to be able to go through what I've made. I want to be able to assess what I'm making this year. If I'm not happy with it, I want to be able to frog it. So anyways, all that to say, this is not going to be a garment I keep or wear. And you'll have noticed I didn't sew on any of the ends. I didn't even put the I-cord in because I knew that the I-cord was not going to fix the problem. I would still have so much yarn left over anyways. I didn't want to have more cut yarn to deal with when I knew it was going to be frogged. So there we go. And I do want to make the mixed rib cami. I hope to make it in a different yarn. I've got some options up here that I can use for it anyways, so I might even attempt it again this year. We'll see. It's a pretty slow process project, so we'll see if I want to tackle it again this year or not. But it is a nice garment, and I do want it eventually, just not this one. So let's go on to my works in progresses. Okay, the first one I'm going to show you is the Skeeter skirt. I'm actually pretty far into it. I actually feel like I might be ready to start binding off. I didn't think I was. It doesn't look that long. Like here, it doesn't really look that long, but when I tried it on just now, I did a video, and I'll put the B-clip here, the B-roll up. It looks long enough in the video, and like, I know you guys probably can't see this, how far down it goes with me just holding it up, but it's almost at my knee from where I'm holding it at my waist. And it's gonna stretch with blocking because it's 100% silk yarn. So yeah, I might actually be almost done with this one. Okay, so this is the Skeeter skirt. It is patterned by Maya Daglon, or Maya Tinks on YouTube. She put this pattern out over a year ago. It's her first pattern, and it's a size inclusive skirt. You start with the waistband. You knit it as a double knit waistband. You put the elastic band in after you're done knitting the waistband to your size. You pick up stitches all around the waistband to knit down to the length of the skirt that you want. And it's size inclusive plus yarn inclusive. You can use any weight of yarn. It's gaugeless, I guess, if you will. You have an option for pockets, which I put in the B-clip. You might have noticed that I had clipped the pockets shut because they don't have lining in them yet. So I didn't need to show that part of my body on camera. Yeah. A couple of things I did with this. I mean, it's been taking me a while. I started it, when did I start it? April the 12th, 2025. April 12th, 2025 is when I started this project. And I'm getting close to finishing it finally. It's been taking me a while because I've done a lot of picking it up and putting it down, mainly because the waistband was such a slog that I was hesitating on finishing that part. And then after I picked it up and started knitting, I was finding that my gauge seemed really tight and I wasn't happy with the fabric that was coming out from that. And then when I decided to finally pick it up again and do something with it, because it was kind of like, do I frog it and start again? Because I'm holding the yarn double, and so it was making a thicker fabric. I decided to instead switch my needle size. So I started slowly after I had joined for knitting in the round at this point, and I decided just to start switching the needle size. So I went from a 3.5, I think I was using a 3.5 millimeter needle to start with, and then I upped it to 3.75, then 4, then 4.5 is what I'm on now. And another problem I was having was I knew I wasn't gonna, I was worried I wasn't gonna have enough yarn to finish the length of the skirt because I was holding it double. I actually think I would have been fine had I not done this alternative solution, but I ended up dropping one of the balls of yarn and only knitting it single from here down. So I don't know if you can tell in the camera, I might bring it up close to see it a bit better, but I have a thickness change here. It's got the 2 strands here and then single strand here. So that's resulting in making it a bit more see-through at the bottom, but I don't care if it's a bit more see-through down there because it's like low enough that it's not a problem, and it's lower than my pocket lining is going to be, so you shouldn't see that either through it. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm almost done. Like I said, I think I can start figuring out how to bind off. I'm not sure if I want to do, I think she's got a couple of options for binding off. I might just bind off in stockinette stitch because it's 100% silk. I doubt it will curl if I do that. I'm not 100% positive though. So I think the other option was to do like fold it up and pick up stitches around the inside. So it's got a little bit of a hem, if you will. But I'm worried that if I do that, it's going to be obvious and much thicker because I feel like it might not look so nice because I've got the double, the yarn held double here and then the yarn held single here. And if I double it up again, it might look kind of funny. So I think I might just bind it off in like just, you know, your normal knit one, slip it over, knit one, slip it over sort of bind off. And anyways, yeah. I have to figure that out. But I'm using Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the colorway Deep Petroleum Blue. I have this full skein left because when I switched to holding it single, I'm almost done this skein here. If I had held it double, I would have had the same amount left. And I'm not gonna pull it back just to hold it double again. This is taking me so long. We're just going with it. If I have a full skein left over in the end, I don't care. I will pick up more and make a t-shirt or tank top with it or something. So yeah, Knitting for Olive, Deep Petroleum Blue. That much left of my 7th skein. I'm pretty sure I had 8 skeins total, so I've used 7 in this project. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about this one. So hopefully in the next episode, it'll be done and I will be able to wear it and block it and then move on to my next skirt plan that I have. Because after this one, I am going to be starting the Paris skirt pattern, which I'm very excited about. And then I can wear this one in Paris when we go in August, which will be amazing. My next work in progress? Yes, my next work in progress is the Daft Day cardigan by Rebecca Clow, the Creabea. I've got the whole body done. I just have to connect at the shoulders. So yes, the whole body is done. Oh, I'm kind of tangled because I got a lot of try-it-on tubing here. And I have my one back panel still on the needles because I'm going to be picking up, doing a 3 needle bind off, I think is what it calls for, 3 needle bind off for these parts. And then I switch over to this side and do a 3 needle bind off for this part. And then that's going to be the whole body done. And then obviously I still have to do the sleeves. So that's the next big part of this project, is picking up and knitting the sleeves. And I'm dreading that because this is taking forever. But that's okay. I like it. It's really squishy. It's really fun. I've got lots of colorful yarn in there, so it's really enjoyable seeing it grow that way. It's taking a long time because it's a slip stitch pattern. Yeah, I'll show you the back because that's looking nicer than the inside. So this is a bottom-up construction. You start with the ribbing down here, and then you're just working all the way up. You split for the front panels and the back panel, doing your shaping and your decreases and all that. And then, like I said, you're going to be doing a three needle bind off, picking up for sleeves and going knitting down from there. I'm doing the size 3, and my needle size is 3.75 millimeter needles that I'm using for this project. And the yarn is Bramble Ridge. I'm using her fingering weight yarn, Bramble Ridge. It's just her sock base, so it's 75% like superwash merino and 25% nylon, I believe. I don't think I wrote it down though. And the main color is Linum, and the colors, the contrast color is her neons. So she's got a couple of options for her neons. She has DK weight full skein neons, a fingering weight full skein neons, and then a fingering weight fun pack of mini skeins for the neons. So she gifted me the neons in the fingering weight small, like 50 gram skeins. I think it's 50 grams. And then I bought the Linum to go with it in fingering weight, and I'm holding it double to get the recommended gauge, to be on gauge. The gauge is 21 centimeters for 33 rows to get 10 centimeters. Did I say that right? I didn't. The gauge is 21 stitches for 33 rows to get 10 centimeters. And so that's, what we're doing. I don't know if this is going to be ready by next podcast. I'm trying to do my podcasts every 2 weeks. Chances are this will not be done. I'm focusing more on my skirt. I want to get that off the needles and get my next skirt on. All right, my next working project is just a small pair of socks. I've got this little sock on my needle. I think the last time I showed this, I was like, here, I'm not getting a lot of growth on it because it's just a really low priority knit. But I haven't finished any, like this is still my first one. But I'll bring it up because I'm doing a little bit of a ribbing here. I'm doing 3x1 rib. Oops. I've got a contrast toe. It's a toe-up sock. I've got a contrast toe. I'm going to do a contrast heel when I get there and a contrast cuff. The contrast yarn I'm using is the Crafty Jacks Boutique in their Tough and Tender. Where do I have that one? In their Tough and Tender, it's just this nice kind of light gray, white color. I can't remember the name of it, and I'm not sure where my label is for it. And then the stripy yarn is this one here. It was gifted to me from Megan at Bramble Ridge. She had made a pair of socks with it, and this was her leftovers. So she asked if I wanted to use it up, and I, of course, agreed because it's so pretty. I think I've got the tag in here for it. Yes, I do. And it's from the Wool Baron. It's the colorway Tropical Staycation. And it's 75-25. 75 merino, 25 nylon. I'm pretty sure on my last podcast, I was holding up a ball band from some other project, and I think I was holding it up upside down because I wasn't wearing my glasses, and I'm still not wearing my glasses. So if anything's upside down, that's why. I can't see without I can't read without my reading glasses, and so anything up close to my face, I can't tell if it's upside down or not. So that's why. Oh, and I should mention, so also for the sock, I should also say, so 3x1 ribbing, and I am doing 64 stitches on a 2.25 millimeter needle. It's my first time doing it that way. I usually use a 2.5 millimeter needle and do 58 stitches. 56 stitches? Yeah, sorry, 56 stitches on a 2.5 millimeter needle is my normal way of doing it, but I wanted to try the 2.25 with the 64 stitches just to see if it hugs my foot better. So we're going with it. Okay, and my final work in progress that I wanted to talk about is actually something I'm potentially going to be frogging. Yeah, I think I will frog it, but I wanted to show it first. This is my Oslo hat. I'm knitting it with yarn that I got from Kensington Prairie Farm. It's just a 2-ply alpaca blend in the, I think it's just a normal color. I don't think it's dyed. So it's 70% alpaca, 15% merino, and 15% bamboo. Yeah, I don't see a colorway, which is what I used right up till about, I think about here. And then I had to figure out what to do because I ran out of yarn. And my options were like, I couldn't go back and get more yarn because I couldn't even find that blend as an option anymore from Kensington Prairie Farm. I think it's kind of older, a couple of years old. So that wasn't an option. And I didn't want to use something that was close but not quite exact because I didn't want to see a stripe of color change in there. I figured if I had to see an obvious color change, I wanted it to be with something that was an obvious different kind of wool. So then I chose to go with, come on brain, you can do this, with mohair instead. Because I thought it would look obvious. I thought it would look obvious to change to mohair, it'd be like fluffy, and you know what, it's not obvious, which is also a good thing. I think I did a really good color match. I can't even tell really where the mohair starts and the alpaca ends because the color, I feel like I did a good job picking my colors for that. So I'll show you that up close. Like even on camera, I can't see the color change. So that in itself is marvelous. The problem I'm having with this is that all my decreases are showing really obviously, I feel like, because of the mohair. I'm holding it triple. I bought 3 different mohairs from Sandnes Tin Silk Mohair in 3 different browns. So I've got these 3 here that I'm holding together, and it's making a perfect match, which is amazing. But my decreases look gapey. They look really obvious, and I don't like the look of that. So I'm not sure. Obviously I haven't frogged it yet because I'm not sold on that, but I'll show you up close my decreases, and maybe on camera it'll help me decide what I want to do. So that's kind of what all of them are looking like. It's a decrease rate, I think, of every other round right now. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember actually fully. I think it's every other round. So it's looking really obvious. You can see the gapingness. You can see the gapingness here on all my, and I tried doing like a tighter knit to make sure I was closing that gap better. It doesn't seem to be making a difference, and it bugs me. I feel like once it's all done and off my needles and blocked, it won't be obvious, and I should maybe just keep going with it because I don't really have another thought for this yarn. I liked the idea of making it into the Oslo hat, which, by the way, I'm doing a terrible job here. I should also say it's the Oslo hat by Petite Knit. I really do want it as this hat. It's a nice brown. And it's not folded yet up the 3rd way, so like when I'm all done, I'm at about this much of the brim right now, based on how it's folded. So yeah, I'm almost done it. Maybe I should just go through with it, but I wasn't happy with how those, like I said, how those decreases were looking. So I just don't know. Maybe after editing this, I'll make a better decision because I bought this yarn. I bought these 3 specifically for this project. I should finish the project. But like I said earlier in my episode, I don't want to spend this year knitting something I'm not going to wear because I'm too afraid to frog it. I want to be able to look at what I've made. If I don't like it, if I'm unhappy with it in any way, I want to be able to either fix the problem or frog it and do something else with the yarn so that it's not sitting in my closet and never getting used. Anyways, we'll see. I think I'm just doing exactly as the pattern says too with the needle size. I don't remember what it is and I can't see it from here. So whatever the needle size is what I'm using. Yeah. Okay. We'll figure that one out. If I don't mind it in this video, maybe it'll be a finished object in my next episode, because if I like how it's looking, if I don't mind it when I see the replay, maybe I'll finish it before my next episode too, which would be nice. Have that one done before the snow hits that we might be not getting this year at all. So that's all I'm going to talk about for my works in progresses. I didn't touch my Nantucket wrap at all this in between my last episode and this episode. I haven't touched it. I think I want to go back to it once I'm done. Maybe the hat. Maybe once I'm done the hat. Because after I'm done my skirt, I'm going to be starting my Paris skirt. And after I'm done my Daft Days cardigan, I'm going to be starting my husband's sweater, which is what we're going to talk about now, my acquisitions and plans. Yeah. So in this basket, you probably, I mean, if anybody watched my last episode where I reorganized my stash, which is this beautiful cabinet now behind me, you had a sneak peek of this one here too, but I haven't talked about this since my last actual podcast. I bought some yarn for my husband. This is called Country Roving. It's from Briggs & Little. It's, what is it here? Country Roving. It's 141 meters for 8 ounces, 227 grams. So I bought this to make him a sweater. I bought this for this sweater here that I can't remember the name of right now off the top of my head, but it's going to be modified. He doesn't really want such a busy colorwork sweater, but he likes the look of having that style of sweater. So what I wanted to do was I bought the yarn specifically because that sweater uses the same yarn. And for the colorwork, I'm going to do part of the dad cardigan colorwork from the dude, sorry, not the dad, the dude. From the pattern, the Dude. I want to do some of that color work instead. Plus, I have made my own color work chart, which is here. Oh, you know what? This is the cardigan pattern as well. I can talk about it now. Okay, it's the West Coast cardigan that I'm making for him, sort of adapted West Coast cardigan. Okay, anyways, with the color work of that as well across it. I just went into Stitch Fiddle and made my own design in Stitch Fiddle for a Star Trek ship. It's not perfect. I don't think I could make it perfect, but it's enough that you can tell what it is. So we're going to do that. So I've got the main color here and then the contrast color for all the color work, including the ship. Yeah, so very exciting. I'm going to be starting that after my Daft Days cardigan. I've got my swatch already done and measured and, blocked and measured, and it's perfectly on gauge for what the pattern calls for. I think it was, I'm not going to remember. Anyways, I'm on gauge. Maybe I'll write it here what the gauge is. I'm matching it. So that's very exciting. And the yarn was actually a lot more durable than I was expecting it to be, because you hear about, roving yarn being very easy to pull apart. I wasn't having any issues with this when I was knitting up my swatch. I even was trying to tell my husband how easy it is to pull apart, and I was like, really had to reef on it to get it to actually pull apart, because it's 5 strands held, like you're holding all 5 of these strands together. So it helps with the, I think it helps with that fact that you're not going to be pulling it apart, because you're having 5 that have different staple lengths at each section, or whatever that term would be. And I think this will work up really fast. It's bulky or something like that. It's such a big stitch count. small stitch count. Anyways, it'll work up really fast. So that hopefully won't take me too long. And I did tell him it's for Christmas. So if I get it done before Christmas, like, well, that's, I'm winning then, whatever. If I get it done before Christmas, that'll be amazing. I hope to, if it's going to be as fast as I think it's going to be. The other thing too, I should mention, yeah, okay, the other thing I should say, like the reason I went with the West Coast cardigan instead of the Dude is because the Dude is worked bottom up in pieces and you're working the sleeves like wrist up. And I didn't want to do all that seaming and figuring out color work as well on something that was going to be for my husband. So I have to like keep getting him to try it on and getting the sleeves up and seeing if they're going to, you know, and I'd rather, if it's not going to fit properly, for it not to fit properly on me than for it not to fit properly on him. So that's why I'm not doing the Dude and doing the West Coast instead. But I'm also planning on doing steeking. I'm hoping, my plan is to knit it in the round instead of back and forth for the color works, for the sake of the color work. I'm going to knit it in the round and do a steek instead for the cardigan front, and the sleeves will be in the round too. So wish me luck. First time ever steeking. We'll see how well that goes. And oh yes. Okay. And my other acquisitions, when I had to buy the mohair for my toque, I ended up also getting a couple other things from that store because it was, actually, I don't even think I qualified for free shipping anyways, but I just thought if I'm buying something that I have to pay for shipping, I might as well buy a few things. So I ended up also getting some magazines. I wanted these for a long time, the Sandnes magazines here. I've flipped through them. There's a couple of patterns that catch my eye that I'm hoping to knit. I mean, this one is iconic, I feel like. So many people knit that one, and this is a very popular, out of all the Sandnes magazines, this is the one that I see people buying the most. So to me, it feels like a very well-known one. And that sweater itself also, I think I might want to knit as well, just modified. They also have this one here. What's the name of it though? I'm not sure what this one's called, but I think it's really pretty. And it looks like it's just made in mohair, which is beautiful. Let's see. Yeah, this is the green one from the front. And I've never knit a Sandnes pattern before, so I'm a little curious how well it's going to be. I've heard a lot of people say like they don't do any hand holding, so it's a lot of, you just have to know what you're doing for a lot of it. And they do have all of the pattern instructions at the back of the book. So hopefully we'll do something in that this year. And then this one here, I mean, I know if you guys watch Two Pearls in a Pod's podcast, one of them, Sarah, I think, made this. And it's, you knit it in the round and you're only doing the horizontal stripes, and then you have to do the vertical stripes with, what's it called? Oh my goodness, my brain. You have to do the vertical stripes this way. My brain will not remember the word. So I've never done that before, so maybe it'd be interesting to try and learn it. I doubt it's hard. It would just take a lot of time. So that might be a good option. I really liked, what was it? Oh, that's the clutch. No, not that. I really liked this cable one. I thought that might be a fun one to try. Maybe just not as a turtleneck, but I like the cables. They look simple. They'd probably be really easy to do. Yeah, I don't know. They've got like a turtleneck and skirt. They got a couple of dress patterns and skirt patterns in this one. I don't know if I will do that though. My one skirt I'm already knitting, and then I've got another skirt planned. I don't know if I'll do any more. But yeah, this one doesn't have quite as many options in my mind for me. This one has a bit more, but I'm just excited. It's always nice to have, I think it's always nice to have knitting books and magazines. Even if you don't use anything out of them, it's good for inspiration. So I have those. And then the last acquisition I have is up here. I bought some more Tinline. I don't remember the name of the colorway, and it's not like they don't put the colorway on the band, they just put the number. It's number 4372. And it's just this beautiful, like burgundy, purpley kind of color. Kind of similar to the sleeve, only brighter than my sleeve of what I'm wearing today. But it's a summer yarn. Let's see if I can see it. I don't know. It's a summer yarn. It's got a blend of, I think, cotton, viscose, and linen or something like that. Yeah, so I'll make a summer garment with that. It's always, I just wanted to have more of a summer garment variety yarn. So that is all of my acquisitions. There we go. Oh, don't drop. Okay. I don't know if you guys, if anybody watched my episode with organizing, I was talking about getting bins for storing all this in. I haven't gotten any yet. I haven't found any that I like that fit the bill, that are the size of these cubbies without it looking, I don't know, not nice. Like, I got these are IKEA, and you can buy the bins that fit exactly in these from IKEA, but they're fabric ones, and I thought it'd look nice either having see-through ones or just, I've got a white one actually over there that has like holes in it, almost looks like it's woven, and that would look pretty because you can kind of see the yarn through it. So I haven't found anything that I like yet, so we're just doing on the shelf like this, and it's working okay. The only problem is, the only thing I want those bins for is so I can pull them out and dust this better, but it's not dusty yet, so it's fine. Okay, anyways, I think that's all I had for today, and yeah, that's all I have for today. So thanks for joining me, you guys, and I will see you in the next one.